If music is a story, what is the plot?
We are home, we leave home, we come back home.
Music theory for worship. It's the theory of what makes music work. The music for the contemporary blended church. Music theory 490.
Hello, and welcome back to
Music theory for worship.
no doubt the most practical course you'll ever take.
So we're building this catechism, and the first question that we have asked is, what is music theory?
The theory of what makes music work is the answer. The second question is, if music is a language, how is it communicated?
And the answer is, it sets up a culturally determined expectation, and then it fulfills it.
Or surprises you?
And that third question is, if music is a story, what is the plot?
And the plot is that you start home, you leave home, you come back.
There are other ways that we could express that musically. We could say there's conflict and resolution. There is dissonance and consonance.
There's determination and stratosphere. Unstable and stable.
So we have this story that's being told. We're saying it with notes. And what we're saying is, ah, that was comfortable. Oh, that sounded uncomfortable. Oh, I see. In fact, you could think of almost any movie that you know that has a feel-good ending to it, you know. And first you spend some time establishing the characters.
We take some time establishing the tonic key. What key are we in? Let's meet the characters.
And then you introduce some element of conflict.
What are some harmonies that sound a little more dissonant, provide a little twist in the plot?
You get farther along and another twist of fate comes in. And you know you're near the end because it looks absolutely impossible to resolve everything.
We're going to different keys. We're in different places than the first key. And we have seemingly lost our way home. When we shift from that other key into our original key, which drives us back to the recapitulation, which says, yes, Frodo, all things are right in the Shire.
Perhaps we should demonstrate.
But you have 7 scale degrees. Stable and unstable. 3 stable, 4 unstable.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 different scale degrees. 1, oh, but that's stable.
1 had better be stable.
Almost by definition, it is the most stable.
Yeah.
And then 1, 5. So 5 and 1, those are both pretty stable. And you can stop on 5, not quite as well as you could stop on 1. So 1 and 5, those are stable. There's another one that we still consider stable.
And that would be 3.
Okay, so those are all considered stable notes, some more stable than others. So 1, 5, and 3 in that order. And then there are unstable notes. 6 is a little bit unstable. It wants to go down to 5. So when you're on 6, it doesn't feel stable. So we put a little dotted line there and say 6 on this side of that line.
But it's sure close to the dotted line.
The next most, least unstable notes
is 2. 1, 2.
3 blind.
Mice. It's gotta be unstable.
Yeah. Now 6 and 2 are both like in this middle ground that we say they're unstable, but remember we put a dotted line there, we put another dotted line here because they're both a whole step away from anything that they're going to resolve to. 6, 5,
whole step,
2, 1,
whole step. Definite instability, stabilitizers.
Some of us are very unstable.
Let's just say.
And the first one that we come to that's unstable is Mr. 4.
4-3 really feels that pull because it's a half step away from 3. 3 being a stable pitch.
Now, a lot of people get confused right here because we think of a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord. And when we say which are the stable scale degrees, they say, well, 1, 4, and 5. No, those are the 3 primary chords, and we haven't even talked about those yet. We're just talking about scale degrees here, and it's 1, 5, and 3, and 4 is unstable. Can you remember that?
Probably the most unstable, would you say?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Is going to be 7.
7.
Because it's a half step away from 1. If 1 is the most stable, 7 being a half step away from it is going to be the least stable.
This is how Mozart's parents used to wake him up in the morning. Then they would hear, ah! Ah.
Please note that these are not historical facts. They are fictional based.
Tonic is so strongly stable that a half step under it feels terribly unstable. Let's illustrate this by the use of the instrument, the harmonica.
Or mouth organ.
Now, the harmonica is...
Or mouth organ.
Is an amazing invention. Because you can play it by blowing out and by drawing in. I call it a blow and a draw.
And you'll get 2 different tones.
Now, if I were creating a harmonica, I would have made it go da 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 da. I would have gone left to right and played a scale. And I don't know what
you would have been wrong.
Yeah. Instead, what they did was they have created these things so that all the stable notes are the ones that you play when you blow out. Right. Hear that? Not very well played.
Delightful, but still.
So it was 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. It was all just 1, 3, and 5. So what do you think is going to happen when I draw in? It's all those unstable notes. It's 2, 4, 6, and 7 when I draw in. Consequently, harmonica is a great way to learn this whole pattern of stable and unstable, because there are several tunes whose whole point is stable, unstable, stable.
See, that was one of those moments where you had a surprise at the end.
Yes. I forgot to breathe out. Right there at the end.
Right there. And you felt unstable, didn't you?
I did. I felt very lightheaded, as a matter of fact. So, you could imagine the tune. But it's not so much about what the exact notes are that are being played as that there was this environment of stable notes and then unstable notes, and that was really the whole story.
Is it a little night music?
A little night music. Here's another one.
You've never thought so hard about breathing in your life.
There's one more that we could do. I'm not going to do it on harmonica because it's not in a minor key, but listen to this. Can you feel it? Stable, unstable, stable. Even though it's in a minor key, it does the same thing.
If music is a story, what is the plot?
490.
We are home, we leave home, we come back.